Hey there, welcome to Just Begin, the podcast where we explore what it's like to navigate life as a 20-something. I'm your host, Melly Diaz. On this podcast, we dive deep into a wide range of topics, from mental health to hustle culture, relationships to wellness. No topic is off limits, and I'm not afraid to get real and vulnerable. Together, we'll explore what it means to just begin, to take that first step, even when you don't know where to start. So if you're ready to join me on this journey of self-discovery, then stick around and let's just begin. Hello, welcome back to the Just Begin podcast. My name is Melly, and if you're new here, welcome to the Just Begin podcast community. It's nice to have you here. And before we get into this week's episode, I wanted to make sure you all know that all the podcasts will now be on YouTube as well for you guys to watch while you listen. So you have two different options. You can just listen on Apple or podcast or Spotify, or you can watch on YouTube, whatever you prefer. I wanted to make sure you all can reach me everywhere. And so before sorry, I've been just tripping over my words. I swear this is the fifth time I have restarted this episode, and I'm not gonna stop. This time I'm we're just gonna keep going even if I have some mistakes, and that's the way it is. I don't really have a script for my podcast. I just kind of talk on here, and I have just a little guideline of things that I want to mention. And as you see from today's title, I'm going to be getting into a few things that have really improved my life. And what I mean by that is just I want to share different routines and different hacks and tricks that I've done that I feel personally have really impacted my life. And if you are a Just Begin podcast listener, you know that I have been through this self-discovery journey, fitness journey, and I just love sharing different ways that we can all improve our lives. I love self-development and just finding different ways to be better. So I really wanted to share on here things that have actually worked for me. And before we get into all of those things, I kind of wanted to chat a little bit, and I wanted to create a little segment on here about creators that I'm loving and small businesses that I'm loving. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do that at the top of every episode or once a month. Let me know what you think so I don't take too much of your time, but I wanted to share on here kind of what I mean by creators, different accounts that I'm following on Instagram and TikTok, and just content that I'm consuming that kind of relates to what I'm talking about here. So yeah, I wanted to share just my favorite creators right now. So the first one is, since I was just kind of mentioning a little bit about fitness, her name is Oyinda Fitness, and this is an account that I found on Instagram while I was doing the 75-day hard. Her reels kept coming up for me when I would look up different workouts and different things, but she really stood out to me because she does a really good job of she does a split screen reels where it's do this, not that, or do this or that, and kind of gives you different variations of if you want to focus on a specific body part, if you're trying to focus on your glutes or your arms, whatever it may be. She does a really, I just really like the way she does her content, because if you are someone that's new to the gym and you're not really knowledgeable like me, as I was, I'm learning. I'm a little better. I'm much better now than I was. So I can't say that I don't know much, but at the beginning, when I was really a newcomer to this, her account was really vital to me, and finding different ways to do a workout routine and stuff. And I shared on that episode of the 75-day hard, I wasn't really following a specific plan or routine. Me and my friend Danny, who was also doing the challenge with me, we just kind of were what do you want to focus on today? Okay, we did legs the other day, so let's do shoulders, and we'll do chest. And we would just find different workouts on Instagram and TikTok or whatever, and just kind of make our own thing. And so that's just what worked for us, and that account was really good for me. And I'll have all the accounts that I'm sharing on the notes here, like on the show notes that you can have, and I'll also share it on Instagram. And so the next one on here, which let me just share the other like wellnessy fitness one, and the name is Dr. James D. Inc. I'm assuming he means Dr. James D. like Incorporated. I'm assuming that's what the Instagram handle is. However, I've shared his posts a bunch of times on my Instagram story, on my personal account, and he's kind of like all of his posts are like kind of like the notes app, and just different tips and ideas and just like knowledge. And he's a doctor, so he shares a lot of stuff about health on there that I love. And I just really like his approach to food and diet and fitness, because that's kind of what he shares, what I've been really into, which is just like whole foods, eat meat, have dairy, you could eat whatever of those things, and like limiting processed food and less sugar and all that stuff. And he's just not all about like, this is a diet plan that you need and stuff like that. It's just like literally here like the simple 5 things that you could do that can immediately change your life. And I just love his account, and I think it's like really easy, digestible information that if you are like trying to get into fitness and wellness, I just really recommend his page, because it really helped me. And just like having different facts about things coming from like a trusted source is pretty nice, rather than just like a random person like sharing stuff like me, of like if I was trying to give you all like very specific scientific fitness advice, which I just can't because it's not my background. But he is an account that I love to go to for that. And so my next one has nothing to do with fitness or wellness. It's an astrology account, which I believe I mentioned her before on here. However, the account is Bondi Guru. So if you are looking for an astrology account that has like intuitive readings and different like horoscopes for the week, the month, the day, she is incredible. I love this account. It's always spot on. I believe every like the morning of, she's in Australia, so it kind of helps. Like you get your horoscope like kind of written already the night before, so you can read it or like wait for the next morning. It is all like written out by her intuitively. She is amazing, and I really love this account for astrology information. And other than Bondi Guru, I really like Sisters Village as well, which is another really good account, which a majority of people follow because they are huge. But Bondi Guru is legit, and she is so good if you're looking for it, like an astrology account to follow. And then when it comes to small businesses, last week I went to Artisans Playhouse, and they are located in the Hialeah area. And we did a pottery class. Me and my friend Daniela and her friend Carlos, like 3 of us went together, and it was so much fun. I've had on my vision board to do pottery, and it's something that is like I've been drawn to and that I really wanted to do. I want to get into it and learn more on creating stuff with my hands. And so it was so much fun, and I had a blast. And their name is Artisans Playhouse, and we did the intro to pottery class, which was really nice because the instructor was super talented, and they let us do like 4 different pieces of pottery. It just depended on your pace. So they would teach you the first steps on like how to get it set up, what to do, and they can help you along the way. But then it was like free for all. Like here's the materials, do what you want to make, what you want, and just be done. So I was like, okay. I kept making things, and I made like 3 pieces. So the first one is super ugly, which I don't have any of them here right now, so I can't even show you on video. They are like in the glazing process, so I'll pick it up like next week, at the end of next week. And so I made this like weird looking bowl that I was trying to make as like a jewelry holder, which it could still be one. It's just kind of funky, but whatever. And then I made like a kind of like an ashtray bowl, as well, which we were like, oh, it looks like an ashtray, but it could also be for like guac. So we're gonna see what it works for. And then I also made a plate. So, which I'm really excited about the plate because I had the instructor. I cheated a little bit. He helped me make the plate like really flat and perfect, and he helped shaped it for me. So I was like, when he's like, do you want to add more? I was like, no, it's perfect. You already did it for me, so I don't want to change anything. And so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, Artisans Playhouse in Hialeah area, so much fun. I highly recommend it, and I'm definitely going to be going back. They had so many other things to do. Like while we were doing pottery, there was a class on making rugs next to us. Like they were at the end process, and I was just like, what is going on? There's so many cool things. Like it's literally an Artisans Playhouse. And so yes, so much fun. And then the next thing, the other small business on my list is We Are Mo Studio, which I am super excited about this. If you are like a Miami girl and you probably already know Mo Studio. It is created by the creator Iron and Salt, and I believe her actual name is Daniela, but I've been following her for a really long time. And she's a really super talented creator, photographer, all that stuff. And she has her own studio now in Miami. And I am going there this week on Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday. And we're doing a cover shoot for Bloom magazine, which is my other publication that I work on with my mom and my sister in the healthcare industry. So I have shared that before. So we're doing the cover shoot for that. And then we are doing my podcast cover shoot finally, which if you've been listening to the podcast, you know I've been talking about it, that I really want to do a actual photo shoot for the cover of this podcast. And so I'm really excited about that. I still been creating like a vision board for what I want the vibes to look for the cover, and so I'm still figuring that out. So hopefully by next week there will be a new cover revealed for the podcast. So I'm really excited about that. The studio is so gorgeous, and we reserve the studio space and the lounge space, which is like a living room lounge. It's so beautiful. Like if you are a content creator or literally anyone who wants to take amazing photos of yourself, I really recommend We Are Mo Studio. It is so gorgeous. And other than that, I did go to a studio this weekend with Margot, my friend who does photos and film photography, and she did like a whole big group of girls together and different friend groups all intertwined to do like a women's empowerment photo shoot, it was so much fun. And I believe the studio for that was called Warehouse Miami, and it was beautiful as well. And yeah, I'm just so excited to take these photos and go to the studio. I'm just so excited. I've been following that account for a minute, and when she launched that she had her studio, I was like, I need to go there. And so now it's finally happening. And so, yeah, I feel like I've been rambling for a little bit, but I wanted to do this segment of just like different creators and businesses that I've been loving here. And I think just to give them a little shout out, I won't do it every episode, but I'll do it like twice a month or once a month. I'm still figuring that out. But let me drink a little bit of water. See? Oh, I also got this new Stanley water bottle. I know I'm super basic, and I love the Stanley water bottle. Every time I have go out and I have it, no lie, like 3 people come up to me and they're like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I'm like, yeah. It's just, at the end of the day, like, it's a water bottle. Like, get whatever water bottle that works for you. I just like it for the aesthetic, and I really like the handle, and it actually works. Like, my water stays super cold or whatever I'm drinking as long as possible. Like, it's amazing. Okay, so I said we're not doing no edits here. We're going to keep it raw and open. So let's get into this week's episode, the topic. So I have a list here. I have 5 things that have improved my life personally for the better. And keep in mind, all this stuff is, personal to me, and I hope that you can take away some of this information that I'm sharing and test it out for yourself. Obviously, I don't know everything, so this is just what has worked for me. And so the first thing I have written out is having a nighttime routine. So you probably have heard this before, and like having a night routine and going to bed early and getting off your phone. But honestly, it is a game changer. You need to have a nighttime routine if you are someone that is trying to, lose weight, feel better, have more energy, and all that. Like, sleep is so important and so crucial. And I've always been like a good sleeper per se. There was a time where it was really hard for me to fall asleep, and I would drink tons of melatonin every night, have nightmares, and go through the whole circle of things. But I have been really focused on like turning off all the lights, having red lights on, and really creating like a routine for myself. And rather than like a morning routine, which can be like a lot of people like are just, they talk about a morning routine so much and all that, which I have shared like a little bit of my morning routine. But for honestly, what's more important to me is the nighttime routine for me right now. And this is what has been working for me. So let me just take you in real quick up to like what my nighttime routine is. And so main thing is making sure all of like my big lights are off or like dimmed really low, and either like on a red light, or I have Philips Hue lights, and my fiance Dorian is obsessed with that. So we have like all of our light bulbs are Philips Hue, so we control them all on this app that we can change the settings and stuff. So they have a bunch of different little settings on there, and we always like at nighttime I'll put it to like dim or relax, and there's like different settings to do. So I do all that stuff, and I'll change the light to that. And then the next step is putting my phone on sleep mode. So sleep mode, if you have an iPhone, you know that there is a little setting you can put it on sleep and create a sleep schedule where your phone could automatically go on do not disturb at a certain time, and then it will like turn back on with an alarm. And the alarm options on there are super nice. I have like a birds chirping one. It's very relaxing. It's not like a really hard alarm. And so my phone automatically goes on sleep mode around like 9 p.m. And so I like to go to bed around 10:15, even like 10:30. So I'm not saying like you need to go to bed at like 9:30. I just kind of start the process of like I'm going to sleep at 9. And that's when like my phone will go on sleep mode. The lights will be dim, they'll be on red light, and I will then from there like go to the bathroom. And another big note is make sure you have like all these lights all over. So another thing that I had was I didn't have like a soft light in the bathroom, and I had everything out here instead. So when I would go to the bathroom to do like night, sorry, I hit that mic so hard. When I go to the bathroom to do my night like skincare routine, I would have to turn on the overhead light, which was like, it's ruining the vibe. I gotta have soft lights on only and have red lights on. So I have like little lights that I have in there as well, so that even throughout I am like away from all the bright light. And so so then I do my night care, skincare routine, brush my teeth, all that stuff. And then it's that simple. Then go to bed and just not be on your phone. Read. Some nights I read, sometimes I don't. Some nights I'm just already like so exhausted from the day that I literally just like lay with my dog, cuddle with him, play with my cats, like just relax, hang out with my husband. I just said husband, look at me, my fiance. And so we've been like practicing saying that we're like husband and wife already. So sorry for that. Cringe. But so having a nighttime routine has been really amazing for me because like I said, I used to just kind of just go to bed and lay on my phone, be on TikTok, scroll, and then it was already like 11:30, and then I just didn't have a good night's sleep. So having a nighttime routine has been crucial. And so The next thing on my list, I'm going to kind of go, there's like no specific order to this. All of these are super random to each other. I just kind of was listing what are things that I'm doing that have really made an impact. And so, yeah, I just wanted to like make that clear because you're like, okay, now we're on to this. And so now we're on to weight training. And so I know I've been talking a lot about fitness and the gym, and I never thought that I would be that girl. I never thought I'd be a gym girl. But since I've done the 75 hard, I've just been so motivated and inspired to be at the gym. I love seeing my body change. I love feeling stronger, healthier, happier, and just like overall in such a better mood. And so weight training has been my choice of working out and what has been like my favorite thing to do. So like I said in my 75-day hard episode, in the beginning I really did a lot of like treadmill, walking, and things like that because I wasn't comfortable yet with lifting any weights because I just truly didn't know like what to do other than like here's some bicep curls and like maybe like a shoulder press. Like that's really all I knew. And so like I shared earlier, Oyonda Fitness, that was an account that I really love to follow and find different workouts on. So I was looking at her, I was looking at other creators as well. And that Dr. James account, he also shared a lot about how weightlifting is so amazing for women because it's a low impact exercise, believe it or not, because you're not sprinting, you're not jumping up and down like a HIIT workout. And I used to go to like Barry's boot camp. I used to do like cycling. I used to do so many different classes, and I wouldn't see the result that I wanted less than what I do now with weight training. I actually see the results. I feel so much stronger. Like I can carry all my groceries to my apartment like on my own. Like I can lift things on my own. Like I'm telling you, there's just something about like feeling stronger that has been so empowering. And other than that, I had listed out like things that weight training, that it improves your mood, makes you feel confident, you feel stronger, and like I said, you get more results. And it's really good if you're someone that has like hormone issues, where if you have PCOS or something, which I actually don't have PCOS. I thought I had for a while, but I actually got my blood work done and everything, and they were like, no, you don't. But I still had like hormone issues, so I couldn't figure out what it was, and it was my thyroid. So I've been through this like whole journey, and a lot of professionals, and they all say that weight training is a really good exercise if you're trying to balance your hormones and have fast results, rather than like putting so much impact onto your body and bringing up your cortisol levels. So yeah, weight training has been a game changer for me. I'm obsessed with it. I love like going to the gym and like having a goal of like, okay, last week I did 25. Can I do 30 today? Like, and kind of upping my weight every now and then. So it is fun, and you can get a lot done really fast. Like if you go to the gym, you do not need to be there for an hour, 2 hours. You do not need to do that. You can really just go in there, focus on the sets that you want to do, and get those weights done. And you're still feeling, I believe that when you do weights and like when you go home, you're still feeling the effects of it. So your body is still kind of in that phase. So it's really cool that you can just like go to the gym, do your weights, and then your body's still going, feeling it, and you're still getting the benefits of weightlifting. So weightlifting, game changer. And so let's get into the next one. Okay, so the third one on my list is a little controversial, you can say, because if you're a coffee lover like me, I have been waiting an hour after I wake up to drink my coffee. So me, like last year, would be like, no way, we're not gonna wait. I would get up and like go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, do whatever, and then like within the first 30 minutes of the morning, I was already making like my coffee or like on my way to go get coffee. And so I've heard a lot of research about it, and I've like put it to the test, because there was moments where I would wake up and have my coffee right away, and I would feel like automatically I was starting to get like very dizzy, lightheaded, and just not feeling myself. Like, when you have that like coffee rush. And so I kept feeling that over and over again, because also I love breakfast, but I don't like to eat breakfast like right when I wake up either. Like, I just don't have an appetite right when I wake up. I like to eat breakfast, let's say around like 10:30, 11 even. And so when I get up around like 6:30, 7 a.m., I'm just not hungry to make like eggs and do the whole thing. And so I would just drink coffee. And then, as you know, if you've had coffee on an empty stomach, you just feel like shit sometimes. And so for me, it was becoming so much that I was like, it would almost like kind of deter my day, almost of like, whoa, like I feel so bad this morning. I have so much work to do. I have to get on my computer, and I can't focus because I feel horrible. I'm jittery. And so I have like made the switch to waiting an hour, like even 2 hours. Like, I wake up and I do my whole morning routine. I walk the dog. We go on a walk, and then we're like starting from there. We're like, oh yeah, coffee, you want some? And then we make it. And so it's not like right when I wake up anymore, which has been really nice. And I've put it to the test, and I feel so much better. And there's even days where I've been gravitating towards matcha first, and then coffee as like my afternoon, like around 1 or 2. Then I have my coffee. And like, I'm just such a coffee lover. Like, even talking this, I'm like, I can't even believe I'm this person right now. But I've been like really trying to listen to my body and become more in tune to what I'm feeling. And I was just not feeling my best on having coffee right at the top of the day. So I started switching it to matcha. And like last week, I literally had matcha all week and no coffee, which was crazy, because I'm like, who am I right now? Like, and I didn't have a headache. I wasn't like grouchy or anything, where, as when you get off coffee, you can feel like that. But I got a really good matcha from Symbiotica, and so good, guys. Oh my gosh, like, tangent there. That matcha is amazing, and it's so clean. And anyways, yeah, so I've been like doing matcha, but this week I got back on my coffee, and I'll either like coffee and then matcha as like the midday caffeine up, so that I don't get like too like nervous energy. And so the next thing on my list, which is, if you listen to last week's episode, you kind of already know what I'm going to say, and it is planning my week with the planets. And so I won't go into crazy detail about it. If you want to learn like the specifics of what day of the week correlates to what planet, I definitely recommend tuning into last week's episode, which is how to plan your week with the planets. And so that has been a big game changer for me, and structuring my week and figuring out like where my energy is best and where to plan out, like Mondays are for this, Tuesdays are for that, and really creating a schedule that is aligned with the planets in mind. And so that has been a really amazing tool for me. And so, like I said, I'm not going to get into every single detail because there's already a whole episode about it. So the next thing on my list is making time for yourself without your partner. So if you live with your significant other, I think it's super important to make time for yourself without that person. So, and like fit into your schedule days with making friend dates, or like doing things on your own, going to the gym on your own, and just making sure to have time with yourself. And that has been something that has been really important for me, because you can get, for me personally, we were doing so much together, and at the beginning of our relationship, we were apart most of the time because he was traveling a lot, and so was I. And so that was kind of like the structure we were used to. And then COVID happened, so we were together 24/7, which was fine because we were apart so much, and then, which is good. And then now we're like, we're both busy again, and like he's going out, he's traveling, he's doing things, and so am I. So it's been really awesome, like seeing that change, because we just work better like doing things on our own sometimes. And so our relationship is healthier that way. And I've been really taking the time to, have friend dates and do things on my own. And I just think it's so important to, in a relationship, especially if you want like a lasting relationship and if you live with that person, you got to have your own life. You got to be doing your own things. You cannot be doing everything together because that's just it. You'll go crazy. Like for me specifically, we just can't be doing everything together. And so, like I said, this weekend I went to a photo shoot with my friend Margot and a lot of her friends. I met a lot of new people, and that was so fun. I went to a pottery class with my friend Daniela and one of her friends that I also got to meet. And so I've been really going out there and trying to meet new people and do different things and making more friends. So it has been like really important for me, and so it has just been a game changer. If that's something that has been really improving my life, my relationship. And so I just think if you are someone that's in a long-term relationship and or even in the beginning, like already make it like set the standard that you don't expect to do everything together and that you have your own life and they have theirs. So super important for me, and it has been just awesome. And just like making plans for myself, and if it's either like I'm gonna go get a massage, which I'm planning now, which I'm so excited about, get a massage, go get my nails done, go do my hair, or with my friend Danny who lives in the building, we'll go to the gym, we'll go for a walk. Like we went to the Grove the other day just to like, we're like, let's get out of the apartment, let's go on a walk. And I took my dog Marshall and we went like a whole like hot girl walk on ourselves with ourselves, and went to get ice cream and stuff. So it's just like making time to do things that you may not have planned already, and just being spontaneous and doing things for yourself like every now and then. And so that has just been like a really big focus for me, especially now, like we're gonna be married soon. So I'm trying to really make sure that I'm good on my own, and I am. I'm not saying that I'm trying to make sure, like I am, and I really want to continue like down that path of just like having my life, he has his, and we get together and we do our thing and everything is good. So other than that, the other thing, like side note here, I know I had 5, but now I have another thing I want to mention is, so I've been really like kind of curating my Instagram in the sense of create people I don't want to follow and just having the creators that I really like showing up first. So if you don't already know, you can have you can make a favorites list. And so I've been loving this. I've been adding everyone who I want to follow, or like all my friends and like good creators that I love to see their content and put in my favorites list. So when I go onto Instagram, you know how you can have, there's on the left hand side you can say like following or favorites. So I just go to favorites, and then I can just scroll and see who are my favorites that I want to see. So I don't see all the junk, all the ads, all the bullshit that I don't care about. So I just been curating that so that when I'm on Instagram, it's like pleasant for me. I know who I want to see, and it's not just like a huge random stuff of junk. And so I have everyone on there, and that is like a game changer for me if you're trying to, clean up your social media intake, the amount that you're intaking. And so I actually saw a post the other day where it was like that it's estimated that humans will spend like 22 years on their phone. And when I saw that, I was like, that is gross, that is disgusting. I do not want to be that person, and I'm really trying to limit my screen time. And that's just been like a huge tip for me. Like I know it's like super random, but like really going through your following and deleting people you don't care about, that you don't talk to. And you could even on Instagram, there's like least interacted with, so you can look through and then you could just unfollow all those people. If it's like least interacted with, you're not looking at their stuff, they're not interacting with you, there's no point to keep on. There's no point to keep them. And so that has been a really good tip for me, and just like bringing down my screen time and just really curating the content that I'm digesting, I'm intaking, that is in my atmosphere. I'm really, big on protecting my peace, my energy, and just trying to use social media more as a tool rather than like a distraction. And so that is just my hot tip of just like putting everyone in your favorites and just automatically going to your favorites every time you're on Instagram. And you can even look through their story, like when you're scrolling, if you see someone, just click on their little bubble and look through their story. So it just what works for me. I've been like trying to change the way I do that and like how I manage my Instagram and all that stuff. And so, yeah, those were pretty much all of my tips on things that have been improving my daily life, my life, just everything. And so I really hope that you can take away some of these tips and that you learned something. And thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Just Begin podcast. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and thank you so much for tuning in.